Hey guys, Ty back, and we're talking about my palm hand here. I decided that I was going to do a video on this thing because somebody was commenting on my last video asking me what this was and what it meant, and it was creepy because they didn't know what it was. So I come to explain this. It's not creepy at all. Well, maybe just a little. It looks a little dirty, like it needs to be washed. Well, these are the lines on your hands. If you pay attention to them, you have lines and little pressure points and stuff, like little cushy pads, and your fingers are different sizes. Your palm and stuff sometimes maybe squared, round. There's like all kinds of crazy shapes. Sometimes you might have a longer thumb. I kind of have small baby hands, so my hands are small. There's a lot to this, and I decided, because I have a book on it, I'd do a series. So I have this book. I wanted to do a book review on it, but there's so much information in it, and it's been forever since I've read this last, I'm not even kidding. So I decided, why not start a series where I'm teaching what my outlook with the use of this book and other stuff like the internet to look up things. And I'm going to put them together and make a little series. So this book right here is the Palmistry Bible by Jane Struder. Terrible with names. However you want to pronounce that, you can. And I hope it's not backwards, because on the camera it looks backwards to me. And this is, it says, the defining guide to hand reading. Oh wait, my bad. The defined guide to hand reading. Tongue twister. The back of it says, examining the past, the future, and the people in your life. You will get along with a new acquaintance. Can you tell if someone is trustworthy? Take a look at anyone's palm and fingers to find out the answers to these and many other questions. Even a discreet glance at the shape of a hand can tell or help you better evaluate a person. You'll be amazed at how much you can find out about yourself and others using this guide. It's actually a neat book. I was going through some of it. It was like, I got this book I think when I was like 15, I think. I was like 15 when I got this book. I was going through it with a friend of mine a little bit and screwing around, and then I just borrowed the book out and I finally got it back. And I decided, reading it again, whatever. So I actually wrote some notes to follow along so this video is faster and I don't get lost. Let's see if I can do this. Well, I should probably show this so you know what I'm talking about. Have you heard that your own hands can tell a lot about you? Have you heard that phrase? I've heard it like a million times because I like this stuff. Hand. It can tell your past, present, and future. The characteristics, if you're trustworthy, if you can get along with somebody, you can tell just by the shape of their hands, the way they present their hands. Well, they think that it originated from the eastern side of the world where, you know, the Asian countries are, like India, China, Japan, Korea, like over 5,000 years ago is where it kind of started at, but they're not quite sure, but they found ancient scriptures and stuff of people reading hands from that dates back to that time and from over there. So Asian people rule because they got palmistry. It's actually kind of cool looking. There is 4 branches, but it originally starts as 2 branches. It's the chromoly and chromacy. The one is the reading of the shape and size of the hands, and the other one is where the lines on your hands. There's the lines, and then the shape of your hands and your fingers. But it can be broken off into 4 branches. The one is body language, besides the 2 whatever those were. 2 were, there's body language, that you present yourself. When you're walking into somewhere, and you're trying to get a reading done, and you're one of those types of people that are kind of shy and closed off, so you walk in there with your arms crossed, and you're kind of closed to it. The idea, but if you walk in there head, shoulders straight, and you walk in, you're open, you're ready for stuff. It's kind of a thing you pick up on when you read body language. That's probably why I know so much about body language, is because I was getting into the palmistry stuff. See my lovely notes. And then the fourth one is dermatology. It's the fingerprint reading. You actually can read fingerprints. If it will work on here, you can see my fingerprint. But each fingerprint on your hand is different. Like I have a couple of loops and a swirly looking one. My ring finger is swirly. These two are swirly, and these three are looped. And the looped and the swirlies have an actual meaning somewhere in the book. It was a while back ago, I looked into it. Don't really remember what it meant. But hopefully with this series, we can go through it. And then, a good palm reader will examine both hands when you go in and get your reading done. If they just ask for one hand at a time, that's normal for some people who are just starting out and don't know what they're doing, which is alright, because you can get a lot from dominant hand, but a good reader would read both hands. Your dominant hand, which is mine is right, and your undominant hand, which mine is left. In some cases it's the other way around, like my younger brother has, his left hand is dominant and his right is not, which is kind of cool. Some people believe that palmistry is a bad thing, it's linked to the devil. It freaks a lot of people out, so when people are getting their like a reading done or something, and for the first time they've heard it does bad things, they only get bad, bad, bad. So people are nervous, so when you're going in to put that stuff aside, trust me, a reading doesn't kill you. And it's alright to know a little bit about the future, because it helps you make yourself better for tomorrow. Because tomorrow is the future, get it? Ha! Well, it's not linked to any devil worshipping or anything like that, so don't worry, little scaredy cats out there. Over time your lines do change, so you can go in and get your reading done every like 4 months or something like that. I think they change, I'm not quite sure. Don't quote me on that, I will look more into it. Hopefully I'll have more information on it. But I know from child, when you're a little baby, your hands, your lines and stuff are smaller and different. And then as you get older, your lines get defined, like my right hand's lines are deep. But your non-dominant hand and your dominant hand have different meanings. I wrote those down. This is inner stuff. Gotta make it this now. So your dominant hand, the one you write with, events that have happened, expect to happen, the lines change, it's the real life, and it's skills and ability that's actually current and what you've done, so real, it's real life, well whatever hand you call dominant. And then the non-dominant is don't write with, it's obviously non-dominant. It's potential, what you have, what you wish for, and what you wish to do. So when you're doing a reading and you're doing both of those, you do your wishes and your wants kind of thing on one side, and your skills and life experience on the other. That's why a good reader would read both hands. And my nose is running because I just stuck my nose ring in. Page 2. I have a lot of notes, but hopefully this is a good preview on just palmistry. There's so much to it. I'm not covering like a whole lot of it in this one. Just the basics. And let me know down below if you like it, like if you need any more background information, because I can do more background information videos. I can. Okay. If you're doing a reading, like if you're an actual reader reading somebody else, they usually do records. They put paint on your hands and you put them on paper or something like that, so they can keep it on record. So every time you go back to that person to do another reading, like a client, a normal client comes in normally, they can keep track of what your growth is and what's changing. So that's what I've always wanted to do, is do records. And when they're reading, you would choose your words carefully when you're, even if the person that you're trying to read is joking around and being all screwy, your words can mean a lot. And the more you take it serious, the more experience you get from it. So you know what to say exactly. Like, if you have a friend that you're doing a reading for, and their hands say that they're having illness in their future, you don't want to say, oh, you're going to get sick and die, or something stupid. You want to be like, it looks like you have some sickness in your family, and you might want to go in and get some checks and some tests done to keep track of your health. See the difference? Whoop, whoop, whoop. Okay, some clients do fear because Christianity churches and stuff like that say that getting a reading done is linked to the devil worshiping. So they push that stuff aside. It freaks people out, but nothing bad happens to you, so don't worry. It's just seeing what's coming in the future, and if you don't like it, you can always change it. And it also helps out if you have health problems in your family, so you can go and get your tests done. Always do tests. Finger. Okay, next bullet point. Do your best to create a good environment and surrounding, because you want to make sure that the person feels comfortable, they feel safe, and like they're not being made fun of for doing this. Because that's also a factor, because it's fear. You're going to somebody that's going to do a reading, you don't know if they're phony, if they're real, they're kind of freaked out a bit. It all links together. So create a good environment around you. And it's good to sit right next to the person you're reading, or face to face, so you can look in their eyes and talk to them and be right there, instead of like across the room and trying to do that. It's like, no. A reader has the power, but don't let this go to your head. Some readers think because they're reading your palm, they know everything. Sometimes they can get stuff wrong too. It's alright to get stuff wrong. That's human nature. So don't be in denial and say, oh, I'm right because I can read. Sometimes some of the things are varied, like, I don't know any good examples. I'm not much of a palm reader. I know tarot better. I'll give an example from tarot. Like, I've read somebody, and I had the Hermit card. He usually means like down to earth, depression kind of thing, and real life hitting you kind of stuff. And I had a reading like that, and I was like asking, I was like, do you have depression or anything like that? And they're like, no, I don't, or life's not bothering me, I'm having it good, I got this, I got that, blah, blah, blah. So you just have to look at things carefully, look at what's around it before you just judge off. It's okay to be wrong sometimes. And then next one, some clients can be in denial. Even though I've asked somebody, like, we'll go back to that same scenario, where their depression and stuff from the Hermit card, they may be, like, you can hit them on the head with the nail, kind of thing. Have you heard that expression? Hopefully. When you get something completely right and somebody's a little freaked out, they're like, no, that's not true, and it could be. So be careful, watch the signs. That's why body language is part of palm reading, because if you're watching somebody's body language, you can tell if the person is trying to deny it or if you're just wrong. So pay attention to what's going on. Okay, next bullet point. Silence is golden. Yes and no. You may be reading somebody's hand and they're in a relationship with somebody. I've gotten this example from the book, actually. And they're with somebody that's not so good, and you're hearing some of the rumors and stuff about how they're sneaking around and just not a good person. And you see in their hands that their love life ain't gonna go well with this dude. But you don't really want to say, hey, because they know that you don't like the dude, and just be all douchey about it. You just want to say, be careful, watch your back. If you want to really say something, say it, tell them what you see. But some friendships will fall apart because of this, so be very careful what you do. Be very careful what you say. Pay attention to your surroundings, like I said. And then magnifying glass is always good to have when you're doing a reading, because you gotta see the fine baby lines. Like, you can see the dominant lines, but there's some very, very smaller lines, like my little finger lines right there. Let's see if I can zoom in better. I don't know. So magnifying glasses is always good to have. And you always want to have good lighting when you're doing a reading because you want to be able to see the lines and see everything. And then a thing to do before and after a reading, a very stressful one especially, is ground yourself, wash your hands, do the reading, wash your hands to clear yourself of that reading, and ground yourself if it's stressful and you need some time to collect yourself. In some cases it could be good, fast, you're like chop 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 and you're having fun, then those ones are alright, but wash your hands anyways because bacteria and stuff. You don't want to get sick. You'd be touching hands all day. Ugh. So I think that is it for my informational video. I hope you guys enjoy. Thumbs up if you did. Thumbs down if it sucked, but some people don't like this stuff, that's alright. And comment down below if you want some more informational stuff and background stuff. I'm thinking about starting a whole series on doing palm reading, which I probably am going to do a series on tarot cards and tea reading because I've gotten a little bit into tea reading. I like tea reading, it's so much fun. And it's kind of weird learning it, like looking around on the internet and stuff like that. That's how I've done it. I started out looking for things and doing a little bit of research, but it's kind of better to watch somebody else do it so you're like, oh. Because some of the stuff they're like talking about, oh, you gotta try it this way, and you're like, I need pictures. That's just how it is with some stuff. So let me know if you want to see some of those series go on, because that's what I'm thinking about doing. Probably what I'm going to end up doing. So make sure to scribble because it's down there below. Just click it right now. Come on, click, 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 click. And thank you guys.